So, ladies and gentlemen, Sunday, September 26th, this is the latest update on the Aldrich case. Now, if a lot of people have not been following this, or for those who have, we've had some developments in recent days. An investigation about the allegations of sexual assault at Miami University has concluded. We're going to be presenting information from Chicago Sun-Times and also the new report from CBC.ca Sports that came out in the last few hours. Now, according to the Sun-Times article, ex-Blackhawks coach Bradley Aldrich, I'm putting allegedly, he has not been proven in court, assaulted two men at Miami University. Investigation concludes. Now, according to details presented in the article, an investigation into Bradley Aldrich's time at Miami of Iowa University, of course not Miami, in Florida, concluded the former Blackhawks video coach allegedly sexually assaulted two men at Miami in the fall of 2012. The final report about the investigation conducted by the law firm Barnes and Thornburg and released Friday, which would be September 24th, did not mention Miami receiving any recommendation letter from the Hawks when hiring Aldrich. Now, Aldrich has been a subject of intense scrutiny after two negligent lawsuits relating to him were filed against the Chicago BlackHawks in May and June of 2021. The first lawsuit alleged that Aldrich, who was a video coach for the team at the time, sexually assaulted a Hawks player in May 2010, and that Hawks management covered up the assault while quietly firing him that summer. The second alleged the Hawks provided recommendation letters for Aldrich to his future employers, including Miami University and later Houghton, Michigan High School, where he allegedly assaulted a 16-year-old member of the boys' hockey team. The Hawks have filed pending motions to dismiss both lawsuits. Now, the Miami investigation determined Aldrich allegedly assaulted a summer hockey camp intern and a Miami undergraduate student who worked at the ice rink. Both assaults occurred after Aldrich invited the men to sleep over on his couch. But the investigation also concluded Miami acted in an appropriate manner after becoming aware of each incident and met all of its legal duties. Miami suspended Aldrich's employment after intern reported his assault, prompting Aldrich to resign. The undergraduate student, conversely, did not report the assault until 2018, per the report. Now, the process of Miami hiring Aldrich is of most relevance to the Hawks, however. An original version of the second lawsuit filed against the Hawks alleged the Hawks provided positive references to future employers, whereas an amended version alleged the Hawks merely provided a positive review and/or employment verification of Aldrich to Houghton. The Hawks have called those allegations demonstrably false in their own filings. Now, Friday's new report concluding Aldrich did not provide any references to Miami in his resume, and the report makes no mention of any letters or recommendations from the Hawks. Now, the report states Miami's hockey coach at the time, Rico Blasi, did talk to the Notre Dame University coaching staff, where Aldrich worked from 2010 to 2012 after leaving the Hawks and received favorable information. Now, Miami concluded a background check on Aldrich before hiring him, and although it wasn't completed until after his hiring, it turned up no red flags because Aldrich did not have any criminal convictions or arrests. A similar investigation being conducted by the law firm General Block into Aldrich's tenure with the Hawks is still ongoing. Now, according to the new CBC report, gives a little bit more details about what's going on. Now, according to the headline in this September 25th article, posted at 11 a.m., ex-Chicago NHL player who alleged sexual assault by a coach is active in probe. Now, an attorney represents a former Chicago NHL player who allegedly was sexually assaulted by Aldrich, who was then an assistant coach in 2010, said Friday her client has been interviewed as part of the team's review of the accusations. A former federal prosecutor has been hired by the club to conduct what the team says is an independent investigative review of the allegations in a pair of lawsuits filed against the franchise. Now, the first suit alleges sexual assault by Aldrich during the team's run to the 2010 Stanley Cup title, and the second was filed by a former student whom Aldrich was convicted of assaulting in Michigan. Now, Susan Loggins, an attorney who represents the former player and student, had cast doubt on the possibility of the former player participating in a review by Jenner and Block. She said they wanted to know more about the parameters of the investigation and wanted the opportunity to conduct their own interviews of key former and current team executives. The NHL also promised in August to release the findings of a review. Asked Thursday when it might be completed, a spokesman for Jenner and Block declined comment. Now, Aldrich was employed by Miami from June to November 2012, and the Iowa school again released that report Friday that concluded it had responded properly when it learned of the allegation that Aldrich had allegedly sexually assaulted two men while employed there as director of hockey operations. There was also no evidence that Miami was neglected in screening Mr. Aldrich prior to his employment. The accuser didn't pursue criminal charges, according to the report. Now, in the former player's lawsuit, filed in Cook County Circuit Court, he says Aldrich assaulted him and the team did nothing after he informed an employee. The suit also alleged Aldrich assaulted another Chicago player, also unidentified. The former player who sued is seeking $150,000 in U.S. damages is referred in the document as John Doe. The lawsuit says in or around May 2010, right before Chicago won the Stanley Cup, Aldrich, then a video coach, turned on porn and began to masturbate in front of the player without his consent. When the player attempted to leave Aldrich's apartment, according to the suit, Aldrich grabbed a souvenir Chicago Cubs bat and threatened to hurt the player if he did not engage in non-consensual sexual activity with him. Now, according to the Sports Network, Canada's TSN, two Chicago players told their skills coach Paul Vincent in May 2010 of inappropriate behavior by Aldrich. Vincent said he asked mental skills coach James Gary to follow up with players and management. Vincent was called into a meeting with then President John McDonough, GM Stan Bowman, Scotty Bowman's son, hockey executive Al McIsaac, and Gary the next day. He said he asked the team to report the allegations Chicago police, and the request was denied. Vincent told the AP in the email he stands by everything he told TSN. Now, an attorney for Aldrich told Chicago Public Radio WBEZ his client denies the allegations in the lawsuit. In a May statement to the radio station, the NHL team said the allegations directed at the club were groundless. Now, after leaving Chicago, Aldrich was convicted in 2013 in Michigan of fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct involving a high school student and is now in that state's registry of sex offenders. Now, the former student filed a separate lawsuit against the NHL organization on May 26, saying the team provided positive references to future employees of Aldrich despite allegations from at least one player and took no action to report the matter. The suit says the student was a hockey player at Houghton near Hancock in 2013 when Aldrich sexually assaulted him at the end of a season gathering. So we have a weird combination here. We have sexual assault convictions, we have allegations, but we don't know that the allegations themselves will lead to civil charges, will lead to criminal charges in whole or in part. It's very complicated because you're dealing with state and provincial jurisdictions and two different federal systems. All we know is that something occurred. It's still a fluid situation, and many fans of the Blackhawks entered the season with a lot of questions that need to be answered, because who knew what and when, and the trail of information that was broken. When did Chicago, or when did the future employers know the situation was occurring regarding why he left Chicago, and the references that were the paper trail doesn't match, as we say. But again, has not been proven in court. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first story on this ongoing situation. We do this as a public service, not to exploit the situation, but to give the current facts on what may turn out to be a very heavy situation for the NHL, for the Blackhawks, for many people involved in the hockey industry in North America. And like I said, stay tuned to your local networks for updates over the next few days. Usually situations can be very fluid, so Chicago media, TSN, Sportsnet, CBC Canada, they do a lot of strong sports coverage, specifically Chicago Sun-Times, very comprehensive coverage of the Blackhawks, and all related stories over the years. Thanks for listening. Bye.